Seahawks. I'm sorry, my mic wasn't on there. Why can't my Cowboys just win one Super Bowl? Anyway, a lot going on in yesterday's Super Bowl. High expectations, especially since Denver and Seattle were both from states with legalized marijuana. It was almost impossible for viewers to look at all of that grass on the field and not want to eat all of the food at your party immediately. But while we're talking weed, the head coach of the NFL, Roger Goodell, I think that's his title, unless of course you ask people here in Louisiana, you probably get a phrase that is unfit for television. Anyway, Goodell will still punish the weed smokers like he punishes safeties for punishing receivers for going over the middle. I know a thing or two about sport.
Our experts right now are not indicating that we should change our policy in any way. We are not actively considering that at this point in time. But if it does down the road sometime, that's something we would never take off the table if it can benefit our players at the end of the day. So I don't see any change in the near future.
Benefit players like NFL players with booze right now can drink, and it's basically like steroids. No negative side effects. It's just a benefit for everyone involved. You might be saying, look, alcohol is legal, and the NFL shouldn't regulate that kind of stuff. But look, the horizon, there's a light coming, possibly from the end of a lighter.
Marijuana for casual users, individual users, is subject to abuse just like alcohol is, and should be treated as a public health problem and challenge. But as I said in the interview, my concern is when you end up having very heavy criminal penalties for individual users that have been applied unevenly and in some cases with a racial disparity.
Just like a scrum for the ball. That one might be a rugby term and also not apply here at all. But look, if it can't be regulated fairly, it can't be regulated. Look, Louisiana, just because it's happening everywhere else doesn't mean it'll happen here. There are dozens of states that could have medicinal marijuana before Louisiana. I mean, look at us. We stuff plastic babies into our cakes just to see who has to buy a cake for the next chance to avoid buying a plastic baby cake. What do you mean the Texan has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to Mardi Gras? Point being, Louisiana probably has a lot more to settle than just pot regulation.
I agree with the president.
Go on.
I agree with the president. We don't need to be locking up people who aren't the dealers, who aren't committing other crimes, especially those who aren't committing other violent crimes. I think there are better uses of our dollars, and I think we can rehabilitate those folks. But I do think that given all the problems facing our country, there are other issues that are more important, especially when it comes to growing our economy.
Wait, what state is he the governor of? A strong economic and not in any way scare tactical argument about a drug that could possibly help people? I'm listening, Governor of Hippie Town. Wait, no, I'm just getting confirmation that this guy is from Louisiana. So cool, bruh. The president is on board for some revisions. Our very own Bobby Jindal is on board for some revisions. If the United States and the state of Louisiana is behind one single entity, an idea that no one outside the state would believe could happen here, but the people behind legalization fervently believe and root for it to puff, puff, pass. It's an underdog story. Why is it that Roger Goodell would be oppositional or even one step behind such a thing? I have no clue. Hey, speaking of no clue, coming up after the break, I talk about a former NBA player who has no clue of what his actions in North Korea are doing. Missing the Mark is next.